The Frontier Starter Pack. There we go. So you can see it's a $10 starter pack. And it comes with all this stuff. So I guess we'll go through some of this stuff. You get the Frontier armor, full set of armor. You might be looking at this and like me, you go, oh well, there's a starter pack for $10 and then there's an upgrade pack. What's the difference? And which one's better, I guess? I'll let you guys be the judge. I'll just try to break down some stuff here. Alright, so you get the armor, you get the cloak, which is just aesthetics. A shirt, more it's just clothing, doesn't have any added buff or anything. The pants, the boots, okay. So there's that, and the armor's pretty interesting because it has like really high durability, and I'll show you that. The harness here, you can see it has a 2 ped TT value, which is kind of low, I agree, but you also have a 20,000 durability on the armor, which is extremely high. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the highest for unlimited armor. Usually for unlimited armor you see like maybe up to 5,000, but so 20,000 is like insane for unlimited armor. You usually find those higher durability numbers on stuff like limited stuff. Like here's a piece of limited armor, and it's this one in particular is not even. It's only 8,000. So that's probably not a very good example, but just for comparison, you can see 20,000 over there on the left for the Frontier. It's much higher. Universal ammo 500k, right? So you might read that and you're like, well, what is 500k? Yeah, you get 50 ped worth of universal ammo, which is the equivalent of about $5 of universal ammo. We were looking at the $10 pack, which is that one right there that I have up. This is the $10 one. So if you scroll down right here, that's the basic set. Well, you get 8% run speed bonus on the Frontier armor. That's useful. There's your protections: 2 burn, 2 cut, 3 impact, 2 penetration, 2 stab. Yeah, and 20,000 durability. I just want to make sure the durabilities are the same on both. They are. You get more protection on the adjusted set, the upgrade pack. Yeah, adjusted. More protection, same durability. The hunting rifle. So this information here is useful. 65% efficiency. I think they're both 65 efficiency. I think everything. Let me just check real quick. I think everything might be 65% efficiency. 65. I think even on the adjusted set, it's all 65. Yeah, it's all 65 efficiency. So that's interesting. Those numbers can be kind of adjusted to based on like the amp that you put on it and stuff. So attacks per minute, 48. It's relevant, but we'll break it down even more in the weapon compare tool in a bit here. So I'm not going too into detail. This is useful though, right here. Useful number, 70 meters range. Just checking on the other rifle. It is. I think it's also 70. No, not there. Oh, they got that pill there. That's good. Yeah, 70 meters range on both of them. There's no pistols in here. There is a knife, a hunting knife in both of them. Okay, so the Frontier in the $10 pack, the pill, 50 hours, like 2 days ish. Yeah, like 2 days. I thought it was 3 days. Was this one 2 days as well? They're both 50 hours, I guess. It's a long time. And by the way, guys, if you're new to the game and don't understand any of this stuff, uh, I'll try to explain things. I'll try to mention stuff that newer players probably wouldn't know as well. If you consume the pill, the timer only dwindles down if you're logged in. So if you want to preserve that pill, just log out and the timer will stop. You get run speed, 10%, increased regeneration, 70%, skill gain, yep, 50%. That's what I said earlier too. And auto loot, 40 meters. And I want to say the other pills the same thing. Yeah, they're both the same. So, and I think you only get one pill, but I'm not so sure if you get more than one. Okay, so let's go back to this view, and if I need to get more information from the other page, I will. We didn't go too into detail on the knife or the rifle. I am gonna get into that, so we'll hold off on that. And then otherwise you get the stimulant pill. We just talked about that. It's the same for both packs. Doesn't matter if you get the basic or the upgrade. And you get a Frontier first aid pack. It's right here on the screen, right there, Frontier first aid pack. You can see the heal, 12.9 to 17.1, 24 uses per minute, and good durability. This information here, to me, okay, I could say that like 24 uses per minute is somewhat slow, I guess. But there is another variable that we haven't looked at yet. I don't know if I can get access to it, but I'll try to find it. It's like the decay and eco and stuff like that. That way I can compare it with other FAPs. Excuse me. I just wanted to make sure that the FAPs are the same. 21. Oh, they're different. So this one's an adjusted FAP. So you are going to get a better FAP in the adjusted set. I feel like saying that there's an upside to buying both packs, or at least you probably can't go wrong buying both packs. And I'm gonna get into some details that will show you some benefits of the Frontier pack, starter pack, the basic one, the $10 one. I'm going to show you some benefits of that pack that you would get that are technically better than the adjusted pack. But then again, there's also benefits in the other pack that you wouldn't get in this pack. So there's benefits to each side. That's why I'm saying you probably can't go wrong getting both of them. All right, so you see I have it highlighted a little bit. It's right here, Frontier pack adjusted. You see that? And on the right, the very far right, it says you get it from the web shop. All right, so we're gonna talk about that one. Frontier. Okay, I highlighted the word Frontier, so you know which one we're talking about. And I'm gonna try to I guess I could zoom in actually. So I think that's fine. All right, so we're gonna talk about the Frontier pack adjusted. I don't want anybody to get lost, and like new people, I don't want them to get confused by all those numbers. There is maybe a few numbers we're gonna look at. We're gonna look at the heal per second and the eco. Okay, so this one right here is heal per second, and then right over here we have eco. See that? Frontier pack adjusted. All right, it has a heal per second of 10. It's very basic. I guess if you're killing Kerberos, it will do it. It will do the job. And it has an eco of 12 right over here. I'll highlight it for you guys. See it right there. 12.51 is the eco. It's not bad. I mean, and it's also not good. Somewhere in between. I guess for comparison, which one? I don't know what to compare it with. I guess I compare it with like I'll compare it with a 2350. How about that? And I'll say if you wanted to have a like a good basis, this is a this is a mod 2350 right there that I highlighted. That's got 41 heal per second and an eco of 25. So that's, I would call that good. Yeah, I'd call that good. So like less than that, probably not so good. Anyways, and then I talked about the Frontier. Yeah, there's only a Frontier pack adjusted, so they don't even mention the basic one in here. Okay, let's get off of that screen because I don't want people to get confused in there. Back over here, and this is the $10 starter pack. Well, technically we just covered the first aid pack for the adjusted one. They don't have the basic one in there. It's probably like less or the same in eco and all that, and it's definitely less in heal because we already compared the numbers on that. All right, so while we're looking at this, just another thing I noticed right here is in the $10 kit, well, there's no vehicles. Okay, no vehicles, no welding wire. And if we go look at the $20 pack, there is a Frontier vehicle, and I'll show you guys that in the game here in a second. You get oil 250, which I believe that's, I'm just gonna check real quick for the oil so you guys know what value that is. Extract fuel, what is it, 250 fuel? That is 5 ped worth of fuel, or 50 cents, just FYI, because I think maybe people, maybe even new players would be watching this stream, considering we just moved over to Steam and stuff, so, and they don't know the values of that. So 250 oil is equivalent to about 5 ped, which is the same as $5.50 cents. All right, and then you get a Frontier repair tool limited. Limited meaning that tool will eventually break, and when it breaks, it has like no value other than like decoration or something. So you're safe to TT that once it's broken. You get 10K welding wire, and if you're wondering what is 10K welding wire is 1 ped. Yeah. Okay, so what else do you get in here? Universal ammo, 1.25 million. Let me just go double check the value on that. It's like, I want to say it's 125 ped. Yeah, 125 ped worth of. Does that sound right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 125 ped. 1.25 million, because 100,000 is 10 ped. Hey, what's up, Pogni? Welcome in. So, okay, so we're going through this. You get a vehicle, and the vehicle's actually pretty useful. I think. Let me double check that. We'll just jump over here and look at the vehicle. If I have a link for it, I think I have a link for it. Yeah, the vehicle here. I'll just probably just keep pinning stuff and putting it on the screen for you guys to see. The vehicle's fuel consumption is 0.25 oil per kilometer. Well, to put that into, I don't even know if I have the other vehicle on me. This is a vehicle that I use a lot. I think it's pretty eco. To put that into perspective, this is okay. Yeah, this is actually a good comparison, I guess. It's not to say that the Frontier is like better, but I'll just show you it. Like, I usually cruise around on the Ascension Strider, and that consumes 0.09 actively, which means when you're like driving it around, 0.09, which is like almost like nothing. There are even more eco vehicles. I don't have it on me to show you. I left it on Arcadia. And this Frontier consumes 0.25. It's not bad. And then like, because normally I fly around in my Sleipnir, like if I really need to fly around, and that's 0.55 oil per kilometer. So 0.25 is not bad, and it's got pretty high protection on it. Okay, so shall we? Oh yeah, you can see. So I'll just close that. I just wanted to point out something here real quick on the adjusted armor. I think it's really good for like newer players. By really good, I mean like better than using graduate armor. I would say. I think it's better than using graduate armor. Maybe not protection wise if you're looking for a whole lot of protection, but like eco type armor, I'd say it's better in that sense. Plus you get this run speed of 16%, and you can look up the mission. If you're a new player, you can look it up. There is a mission where you can get, maybe I shouldn't, well, I'll just mention it. There is a speed suit. The only thing is I just realized I don't think you can wear the speed suit. It's a Corona's speed suit. I just realized though I don't think you can wear that with the armor, so just something to keep in mind. What else? Okay, here's the Frontier First Aid Pack adjusted. It has a 10 ped TT. And there you can see the heal interval, 21.4 to 28.6. Good durability and 24 uses per minute. Yeah, so when you start out in the game, you get a couple FAP. There's a lot of ways to get FAPs in the game. Probably not. I'm not going to go into detail on all of them. There is one that you get in the very beginning at a starter mission. I think it's called Gladiator. Yeah, I think you get it, and you get a FAP while you're in there too. It's similar to this one. So yeah, stuff to consider. So let's go. Let me go back to this view here. Okay, so let's go. I didn't really go into detail on the weapons too much, and there are some details that I would like to cover on those. Let's compare the two. All right, so I'll just I have the Frontier hunting rifle adjusted on the screen, and I'm also gonna put the basic one, because this is the part where it gets pretty interesting between the two. These are pretty cool. First of all, you can see they're both 2 ped TT. I know it says DPS right there. One says 4.8 and one says 8. That information is useful. I think that's the base stat with no amp on it, allegedly. But I don't really use that. I go by the weapon compare tool, which we're about to go visit here in a minute. Let's see here. Yeah, the learning period is the same for both of them. I was thinking that maybe the basic one would have a smaller learning period, but it doesn't. But on that note, if you're a new player and you were concerned about leveling up to be max in the rifle, there's a lot of, like, you could just use like Rubio or a Zero, and you're gonna find a lot of those starting out in the game, and like you'll probably get to level 5 pretty fast, like if not the same day. You get there pretty fast. Yeah, we already said it's 0. Did I miss that? Oh, dang, thank you. Appreciate that. Good pointing that out. Okay. SpezG just pointed out it does say 0.5. Good. Yeah, so all the more reason to how do I say? Because earlier in the stream I was saying like you can't really go wrong getting both of them, and there's more reason right there why you can't really go wrong getting both of them, especially if you're new to the game. That's a big deal, actually. Yeah, good point. So 0.5 you're maxed in the gun, and you can continue to get more skills and just keep skilling on the basic hunting rifle until you get enough skills to use the adjusted. Assuming you want to use the adjusted, especially after I cover it here in a minute. And I don't know if I want to cover the rifles first. Save the best for last. It's okay though. We already started talking about the rifles. So let's go to this view here, and I'm going to jump over to the wiki. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'll pick the Frontier Hunting Rifle first. Okay, and then it populates some stats. You don't have to, if you don't know what all these stats are, don't worry. You don't need to know all these numbers and stuff. There's actually just a couple numbers that are important. But what we will, actually, what I'm going to do is, you can't really see it yet, but down there at the bottom right, it says add weapon. I'm going to add that, but not just yet. I wanted you to see this gun with no amp on it. By itself, it has this insanely good 4.08 damage per peck. And if I were saving the best for last, that would be it. But I already showed you guys the 4.08 DPP. Unless that's an error, I don't think it is, but that's really good. Not much stuff in the game higher than that for base stats. I mean, you could take pills and stuff and bump up your DPP, but for base, that's really good. Granted, you're at a 3.3 damage per second, which isn't much, but if you and your friend both have a Frontier rifle and you're hunting together, well, now you're at like 6 damage per second. You know, and just you could go hunt with your friends with Frontier rifles, and then combined, you guys have more DPS. All right, so I'm gonna add that weapon. Also, so I just added it at the bottom there. See that? So I can keep adding stuff that I build, and we can compare them, and that's what we're gonna do here. I'll even throw the knives in there while we're at it. All right, so we just added the Frontier Hunting Rifle. Since I have this one already selected, let's find the best amp for it. So to find the best amp, I'll try to show you guys this. So what I'll do is I'll put like an A102 on it. I know that amp is too big, but I'm trying to show you how you guys know that it's too big. All right, so keep an eye down here where it says damage per second. So I think that's where it's at. No, it'll be like right up here in the damage section. So the damage section is going to change because I'm going to put an amp on it, right? So I'm going to pick the A102 amp. I selected it. And if you notice, it added the damage. It should add 7 damage, but it only added 3. And it's red because we're going over. And it stops at 3. Because the biggest amp you can put on this gun is an amp that does 3 damage. Well, technically you can put a bigger amp, but you're only going to get credit for 3 damage, and then the rest is just going to be wasted. So I'm showing you this so you know, so you learn not to put amps that are too big on the gun. All right, excuse me. So now that we know which amp we know the biggest amp that we can put on. If you can see in the left hand side there, right above the A102, there's an amp that does 3 damage. Well, that's great because we only need 3 damage. That's the most we can do. And if you can ever find an amp that fits perfect, then golden. What's up, Lord Roger? So yeah, A101 fits perfect. You might see the price for A101s go up a little bit after this video. Just kidding. Although, frankly, prices have risen in the A101 lately, as high as TT plus 400. So, it's to no surprise because of this, right? All right, so A101 there, I'm gonna put that on there. Oh, yay, it's green. You see that number down here? It turned green. Good. It means we're not going over. Exactly at 3. That's what we want. 3.74 damage per peck. Okay, our damage per peck went down a little bit. Yeah, it falls. Um, it falls a little bit, but there's something here that you don't see, and that's efficiency. You don't see it on this page. And I won't be able to show you right now. I'll show you in a future video. When you do put the A101 on the Frontier, I want to say that small decrease in damage per peck is just fine. You're sacrificing like 30 damage per peck, and you're getting like over 5% efficiency, if I'm not mistaken. It goes to like 70% from 65 to like 70. So I'm gonna add this. Okay, and we'll come back and compare it in a bit. I'm just gonna go over to. I'm gonna take off the amp and go put no amplifier. Okay, so no amp is selected. All right, so let's go take a look at the Frontier hunting rifle adjusted. So I'm gonna select that one right there. All right, now if you remember, we had like a 4.0 damage per peck earlier, but now we have a 3.8. But we do more damage. DPS is 5.56. That's cool. So I'm going to add this just as it is. No amp added. And now let's go see if we could find the best amp for it. Okay, so what do we have for amps here? We also want to try A102 and see if that fits on here. Is it? I don't know. It's too big. So the biggest amp you could put on here is 5. Do we have an amp that's 5? We might have one, but it's probably limited. I don't think we have the one that's unlimited, like a perfect fit amp. I don't think so. There's a Syncadus, but that's 2. There's an XR50. I don't even know how to make those. XR50 was 5, but it, yeah. No, there's a 6B that would go over. Dang. Well, isn't that a little inconvenient? I guess the best amp we could technically pick is an A101. It'd be cool if this gun was a 7 though. Make a perfect fit for the A102, but it's not. So I'm going to put an A101 on it just to compare stats. And we got a 3.65 damage per peck. By the way, guys, the higher the damage per peck, the better. You want to do more damage for your pecs. For the amount of ped you spend, you want to do more damage. For the same amount of ped, for every peck, you want to be able to do more damage, right? All right, so damage per second, 7.22. You're going to get more damage per second. For some people, DPS is important, okay? Well, it's definitely not irrelevant. Okay, maybe I should say it's definitely relevant. All right. Especially for like when you get into like much higher DPS. All right. Since we're adding weapons and we're discussing weapons, we just covered the Frontier basic rifle, the Frontier adjusted. We put the best unlimited amp on each of them, and I'm building them all down. I'm building them all down here. I gotta fix that crop so you guys can see everything. Syncadus. Yeah, no problem. I'll throw that in there. Give me a second. Let me edit this transform a little bit so you guys can see the stuff down there. Let's try this. There we go. All right, so you want me to put, let's go back here and so right now I'll just throw Syncadus on both of them and I'll add it in there so you guys can see that. I currently have the Frontier adjusted selected, so I'm going to scroll down, pick the Syncadus right there at the bottom. 3.7 with a 6.6 DPS, and let's add that. And let's just do the same thing for the Frontier rifle. It's already got the Syncadus selected. 3.89 damage per pack and 4.4 DPS. Looks pretty good. Not bad. I will say, since we're on this page right now and I have a Syncadus selected, just if we can go check the web shop, but I'm pretty sure the Syncadus is no longer available. If you're in the boat in the category of you happen to have a Syncadus, you don't have an A101, and you don't like the A101 prices, I don't like them either. I want to say you're just fine with a syncodus. That's my perspective on that. I think you're good with a syncodus. And if you have a ridiculous amount of syncodus, more power to you. I know some of you guys do. Let's go look at the knife, shall we? Okay, so here I'll scroll up a little bit. See right there it says they vanish now. Oh yeah, what, the A101s? Alright, so you see where it says Frontier Combat Knife and Combat Knife Adjusted. I'm gonna pick Combat Knife. We'll just start with that one. And I think this is gonna be really short and simple because I'm pretty sure none of the amps fit it, so I'll double check though. Only 10? Dang, I only have 2. I thought that was a lot. That's good though, I guess. Alright, so I have Frontier Combat Knife selected. No amplifier, just making sure. Alright, no amplifier. Dang, 4.10 damage per peck? That's pretty cool. For those of you guys that don't know, and you're just coming across this stuff, well, 4.10 damage per peck currently in the game as of July 2025. I don't know if you're going to be watching this video a couple years from now, but currently in the game, that's insanely good. Okay, especially considering you can just go pick it up from the web shop for like $10. So yeah, even in the chat, Lord Roger just said that's good.
Very nice.
All right, so if I scroll down a little bit, let's take a look at DPS there, where it says damage per second, 2.7. Okay, so not much DPS. I'm not, how do I say, I think DPS is important, but like I was mentioning earlier, I'm trying to allude to, you could just go get with your friends, and all your friends have these Frontier knives with no amps on them. Combined, you guys are all still 4.10 DPP, but your DPS goes up every time you add somebody to your group, okay? So if you got like 10 people hunting, you guys are at like 20 some odd DPS. All right. Which is totally possible because like a lot of people are getting these packs. So you might, I think, like almost everybody has one though. They're cheap, I mean. Let's see. I'm gonna add that. I didn't add it yet. Let's go look at the next. Oh yeah, just I'm gonna go through the amps just to see if anything in here is possible. So I'll put an amp on it, a Melee Trauma Amplifier 1 Unlimited. I'm pretty sure it's too big. Oh yeah, definitely too big. We need like an amp that's like 1.5, and there is nothing for that. There's like a 2, but it's limited. Yeah, it's not realistic. Oh, there's a 1. But they're not realistic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but unless you got like a blueprint with a lot of clicks for those 1, there are some like those would be cool. I'm gonna say they're out of reach. They're not very common. Yeah, Laughlin amps. I think those come from Monria, and I think a few people have blueprints, and I'm pretty sure they're limited blueprints. What's up, Equifax? Welcome in. Alright, so we're gonna go down to, no, limited is good. Well, asterisk, it depends on your ability to acquire that limited and your cost to acquire that limited amp. There's like variables that go into that. So it doesn't seem to me that this Laughlin amp is super convenient to get a hold of. But if anybody has information on that, let me know. I don't think it's a easy amp to get a hold of, these limited ones here. Maybe it is, but I don't, unless there's like a mission somewhere that I don't know about. That's possible. So I'm just going to say right now, best to use this unamped. Yeah. Let's go over to adjusted Frontier Combat Knife. There's a good use for your, look at that. There's a good use for your knife. Dang, what knife is he using?
Do you want to see something super cool that only 3 people have ever seen in their lifetimes?
He's using the adjusted, the Frontier Combat Knife adjusted. Very cool. Right up there, I'm just going to select the knife adjusted. Stats are loading, making sure there's no amp on that. Okay. Yeah, never seen it either. All right, so right off the bat, we have 3.8 damage per peck. It's not bad. So it's not bad. It's actually really good, but the reason that I'm saying it's not bad is because we just looked at a 4.0, and that was in the $10 pack. Okay, that's why I was also saying you can't really go wrong with buying these. I'm leaning towards the armor in the adjusted pack as the better armor, and I'm leaning towards the weapons in the $10 pack as the better weapons, damage per pack wise. That's pretty obvious. I'm showing you guys that here. All right, so is there an amp that we could put on this this knife? How about melee trauma 1? Nope, definitely not. I mean, 2.75 is the biggest amp. I don't think there's anything. I don't even know what a messed away melee amp is. There's these melee bimodals. I've only seen them a couple times in the game. Those would be good. Maybe no, not really. It'd be a waste of it. No amp. I'm gonna go with no amp on this. So 10 and 20, yeah, for sure, absolutely. All right, let's. You guys can see all the weapons I added there. Did I add this knife yet? Combat knife adjusted? Nope. I'm gonna add it right now. There we go. All right, I think you guys can see all the stuff at the bottom there. I'm just gonna move it up here so you guys can see it better. Right there. Okay. There you can see all that. All that stuff. I'm gonna sort by damage per peck. If we were to say damage per peck is a word for measuring the economy of the weapon, I'm a little bit hesitant because there is another variable. It's called efficiency, but right now we're only looking at damage per peck. Usually, damage per peck and efficiency are synonymous. Usually, not always. Alright, I want to put the highest damage per peck on the top because the higher the better. I bet you guys didn't see that coming. Did you guys know the Frontier combat knife? I didn't expect it to be the knife. I was thinking the rifle would be the highest one. Isn't that crazy? So the Frontier combat knife, unamped, is the highest damage per peck. That's pretty cool. I thought it was the rifle with no amp. It is the rifle with no amp if you want 3.3 damage per second, but if you're just looking for straight damage per peck, the knife, yeah, with no amp. You put an amp on it, you destroy it. Put a trauma 1 on it, no good. You're just gonna be throwing pet away. All right. What else? If you want the most damage per second, let's do that. I'll put the highest damage per second out of those on the top. As soon as it loads. Or I guess it went to the bottom. Let's put it on the top. Highest DPS is the Frontier Hunting Rifle adjusted with an A101. That looks cool and it sounds cool. I wouldn't do it. Okay, I wouldn't take a Frontier Hunting Rifle adjusted and put an A101 on it. I would do it for the Frontier Hunting Rifle, okay? Because I can't show you the efficiency right now, but I'm pretty sure, you guys can check yourself later on. I'm pretty sure that the Frontier Hunting Rifle with the A101 will get the highest efficiency out of all of these. Yeah, everything is base 65. We know that. You can put, if anybody wants to say in the chat, you can. If you put an A101 on the Frontier Hunting Rifle Basic and the adjusted, and I think I saw Equifax do it, and the Basic Hunting Rifle got up to like 70% for efficiency. Yeah, right. I agree, Lord Roger. That's why I was saying it's just I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put I wouldn't do A101 adjusted. Not if I had the well it gets a little bit, I guess if you're trying to, if you're there's another variable, which is if the mob's regenerating but still um, I I'm just saying, like, the frontier hunting rifle A101, if you do get an A101, you could put it on the frontier hunting rifle and the adjusted. I'm sure you'll get a higher efficiency on the there it is. Equifax just said he gets 72% efficiency with the frontier hunting rifle, which is it's good. It's really good, especially for like a new player. Okay. Well, I guess I'll go back to that's everything on these weapons here. I just broke down all the weapons, the frontier weapons. And if you guys have any questions on those, let me know. So I'll go back to this view and see if there's anything I missed. We talked about the armor. Dang, he said 69.7 with the adjusted plus A101. So 69.7 versus 72%. That's if you put the A101 on the Frontier adjusted and the Frontier. Thank you for that information, Equifax. I appreciate that. Alright, so these are the two packs. Like I said in the beginning, I'll say it again at the end, I don't think you can go wrong buying both of them. There are benefits to both. My opinion is that I think a good setup for like a new player would be to wear the armor from the upgraded pack and use the healing tools until you get better healing tools. And then
And then you can put it in a brown paper bag and come put it in my hand because I'm ready to eat.
if you can, like, if you don't have any amps, and if you don't have any unlimited amps, no Syncadus, no A101, and you're not looking to spend a lot of money, i.e. $40 for an amp, you'll do just fine with this right here, this Frontier combat knife. See that? Frontier combat knife. And I just showed you guys you can get 4-point Frontier combat knife. I think you guys can still see it right there. Yeah, 4.1 damage per peck, which is really good. Okay, so you don't need an amp for that. You don't need to buy anything extra for that. And if you want more DPS, just go find more players that have a Frontier combat knife and team up with them. Then your DPS goes up, and your combined DPS goes up. Does that make sense? That's an economical way to play. You don't have to play that way. You can put amps on stuff. You can do whatever you want. It's just, I would recommend, if you wanted to play eco and maybe make your peds last, the Frontier combat knife is good. And as Lord Roger was saying, that's why he bought both packs. Cool. I think we covered everything. I'll go back to the game view. Just sort of click on some links. See if here's the rifle hunting, rifle adjusted. See if I missed anything. Here's the combat knife, 2-ped TT. It says exceptional durability, so it should last a while. 78 attacks per minute, very fast. Yeah. You are going to get melee skills by using the combat knife. Melee skills are great for building HP, strength, carry weight. Okay, so melee has its perks. There's also this other thing that probably wouldn't be such a bad idea. You can do this with the knife, which is cool. Check this out. So you can put, this is something cool you can do with the knife. I know earlier I was saying you can't amp it, asterisk. You can put this on it, and for a new player, it's pretty easy to do. You can buy these M Matrix Alpha for close to TT, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so recent markup is about 110%. So you can find these, and in the auction, okay, and you can put this onto your combat knife, and then you're going to get lifesteal 5%. So whenever you deal damage, you're going to heal a little bit, and you're also going to get some evade 10%, dodge 10%, and decrease critical damage by 10%. I'm recommending the alpha because, I mean, you can buy the alphas right now close to TT, which, yeah. But if you're gonna go into beta, Charlie, beta, gamma, delta, I would not recommend putting that on the combat knife adjusted. Maybe the alpha, okay, just because you can get it close to TT. Yeah. I think that's it for the packs. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, anything you think I might have missed, let me know. I'm gonna cover all the amps and all the eco on that. Just wanted to go into that detail. I especially wanted to talk about the stuff on weapon compare tool, because I don't think that gets covered a lot. He's got like a frontier rifle here. Look at that. Is it really a frontier rifle? Let me check. Dang, frontier hunting rifle adjusted. That's cool. Anybody else using a frontier? I think Equifax is using a frontier rifle too. Which one is he using? He's using regular frontier rifle. Smart. I like it. No amp on it. What amp would he put on it? Oh yeah, A101. You know what else would be good out here? Is the knife. The frontier knife. Basic one. But it's kind of like a game. Like, don't get too close to the Kamalden. Dang, now we got a big group of mobs. Hope everybody's okay. I'll try. Oh shoot. Oh no. He aggroed a Kamalden. Let me get a knife out. See if I can handle this. See if I can keep people alive. I'm trying. See, it's a Kamalden young, so I think we'll be okay. It's not so bad. It's a little crazy. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Watch it, Hoff. It's caught in the crossfire.